12:50. Peace, 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 peace. What's good? How y'all doing? Mm. I was playing with the cards. It says observe, don't absorb. This is important for us to learn and master as empathic beings. Not always constantly wanting to basically sit and constantly be in engagement with things because a lot of the times we aren't aware that we don't have the ability a lot of the times, y'all, to just watch stuff unless you intentionally setting the intentions to not take on that energy. Get into a rate to listen to your body, which is why I wanted to share about today. Anyways, a lot of the times, y'all, we don't trust ourselves. And it's not because we just don't want to or because we don't believe that we are trustworthy. A lot of the times we're not willing to let go of what may have previously occurred. What do I mean by that? I just had a loud ringing in my ear. um, Being able to perceive trouble ahead allows us to be a certain race with our ego, and we confuse ourselves of what is actually the best choice to make when we are in our new beginnings because we haven't allowed ourselves to fully let go. And the reason why we don't fully let go is because we be sitting with fear and we don't recognize that a lot of the fear comes from trust. Um, the most amazing thing about healing your relationship with self by going through a journey of self discovery is recognizing how you could reconsider how you previously stood in certain stances with yourself based off of your perception, your perception of your reality, and allow yourself to be in the lived and learned state with you versus being in the constant loop of rejecting lessons because you're not willing to receive what is there. Sometimes we don't really want to digest things fully because we may believe that the weight of the truth is too much for us. So we'll reject certain race of truths because of our own lack of understanding. And in our journey of perceiving what it is that we may have misunderstood, like I said, we just might misorganize or miscategorize how we were previously. You are a lot of the times exactly where you're meant to be at, even in your discernment, even in your misconception, even in your misunderstanding of self. You are where you need to be at. What happens is that we believe that what we may not necessarily have in our toolbox in our current season that we may never have, right? So we'll make decisions based off of that rate without allowing ourselves to actually embrace our inner guidance that's coming alive for us, allowing us to dance in the spaces that our body has now attuned to because we did let go of things. The craziest thing, y'all, about healing isn't healing itself. It's about accepting and being in support of self and allowing yourself to be in recognition of all that's occurred. What do I mean by that? When you heal, you're empowered. You get excited about it. I had self doubt. I may have set in a certain rate to where I didn't believe the things that I desired to be true for me because I had seen these things, but I didn't necessarily know the reason why these things would tickle my fancy or I felt connected with these type of things to even want to desire them was because there was something in me that knew that this was something that was supposed to be my experience. A lot of the times you don't recognize that after you heal and you align yourself to that which is actually in alignment with you, a lot that you require for comes to you a lot of the times without asking. For somebody who's fought their whole life, for somebody who's constantly been the underdog, you may not recognize how much you are actually resisting the renewed state that you're actually in. You may not recognize how maybe you might need to just pause and wait a second so you could be able to actually retrieve the energy that's necessary, the attuning that's necessary for you in these next spaces that you'll find yourself to be in. I believe that our spirit teams and our guides are actually giving us the opportunity right now to fully alchemate. 1 second, y'all, my car is fixed. That's crazy because the it paused at 112. 512. I said 112, but that's not, maybe that's an alignment too. So keep on to that. But 512 and then 521. Look at spirit. Okay, so the card that fell was call on support. And that's what I was just talking about, y'all. Trust your vibes. Your body, once you allow yourself to start cleansing, you detox, you allow yourself to remove a lot of the anger that you've been sitting in. Spirit said, reach for the high head instead of being headstrong at this time. That was like a big theme for my meditation. And the reason is because a lot of things are coming up to test us right now, but it's not necessarily testing. I told y'all we have to have exit tickets when we exit out of an energy, right? And it's not necessarily just the exit ticket. I always call it bon qui qui at the trigger station. The reason why is because I recognized when I was healing. I'm gonna slow down. My apologies, y'all, for talking so quick. I'm trying to basically do homeschooling and get my readings out 616. And I decided to do my readings today before we started homeschooling. So that's my apologies. I'm going to slow down so y'all can get the message. But I recognized when I started healing prior to fully being aware of it, I had to figure out a way how to compartmentalize what was going on. And I believed a lot of the times that trigger, even though I was aware that it was in my power, I always believed that it was somebody that was trying to get under my skin because I was so used to surrendering my power over to other people in habits and conditionings, right? And yeah, and patterns, right? When I allow myself to sit with me, I recognize, oh, this is their job. They're actually testing me to see if I'm aware of what I know now to be true. Have I accepted this? Am I gonna allow this? Have we actually pulled up the roots? You'll recognize when you done pulled up a root from a trauma, ain't no trigger to it, right? So some people might actually use the same doors that they previously had as a so-called access point to you, but they won't actually garner the same return because you've cleared out some shit, you realigned, and you're no longer there waiting for them to engage with them at that rate. I believe that what's been occurring since the 16th is basically been that. It's been a cleanup state. It's been a purging. It's been a releasing. It's been a resting. It's been a settling in. It's a new rate, a new level that we're at. It's an acceptance of the split, an acceptance of the new world that you're creating and cultivating, and being okay with that and not apologizing for it. Recognizing that a lot of the places that you are now even being opened up to is happening because you allowed yourself to be at a rate, yes, God, where you speaking your truth, right? People don't want us to be in a situation to where we speak our truth because it may reveal their truth, right? And a lot of the times people who aren't necessarily ready to be at that state with themselves, they get offended, y'all, by you basically putting them in a position to where they have to basically stand at a certain rate. It's not our business to sit back and wait for how our story and our truth with the people that we may have basically engaged with, as long as I believe, okay, my personal opinion, I believe as long as we are sharing our story in a way to basically share our lesson and not to basically trauma bond with people, because I think that that's a waste of energy. I think that it's very, very counterproductive on your spiritual journey. I think that it allows you to stay at a victim, victor, um, yeah, villain type of mentality rate where you're constantly, going in this circle of illusion, thinking that you have to do it this way. You just get to accept it. You get to accept where other people are at. You get to accept where you are at. You get to trust your energy, trust your vibes. You get to recognize how you are and allow yourself to really, really hone in on the connection that you've made with yourself. Choose to be in this space that is actually going to help you cultivate what it is that you're desiring for, yeah, and be in your change story because you've aligned to this new rate with you. All right. I love y'all. I hope y'all have an amazing day. I hope these messages find y'all and give y'all some help and support. Okay. If y'all do wish to have any, yeah, if y'all do wish to have any, aid, connect with a divine teacher at this time. We out here, y'all. We love y'all.